Hey Donna, how are you? What's going on? How has your day been? Or how has your week been? Because the week is almost over. Almost. We done made it through hump day. Tomorrow is Friday Eve. And I am excited to go over this live tonight. Um I don't know if you've been watching the act, if you've one of the people who said you be tuning in to the act every week on Hulu or not. But tonight was the season finale. And it was really good too. It was really good. We got a lot more information on the background of the main two characters, Dee Dee and her daughter Gypsy Blanchard. And I found out some information about that, some recent information too that I'm going to discuss after I'm finished with the live. But everybody, please come on in. Please make sure you click the like button. Everybody on IG, if you prefer, you can always come over to the YouTube, Tanya's Primetime TV/media reviews, if you want. Hey Maurice, good evening. Good evening. And no, I did not have time to watch Empire tonight, but I already know it was probably juicy. I had an event tonight. My son, tonight was honors night at my son's high school, my youngest son's high school. And I had told y'all before how he got two full ride scholarships, and so they was honoring all the students at his school who got scholarships, those who got letters or lettered in something, things like that. So yeah, we was there this evening from like 6:30 to about, what time is it, 10:35. We was there for like almost an hour and a half for the ceremony or whatnot. So I did not get to watch Empire, and being that I watched the act early in the day while I was working from home, I was watching the act. I was like, well, let me just review the act tonight instead of reviewing Empire tonight, and I'll just review Empire tomorrow night. I bet it was great. Yes, and it's so good. I'm so excited. I know I didn't talk about it before, but I am truly excited. One of the scholarships he got was with I think it's Susan Thompson Buffett, Warren Buffett, the rich guy from here in Omaha, one of the richest guys in the world. His sister has a scholarship foundation, Susan Buffett. So every year they select a certain amount of people and they give them full ride scholarships to wherever they want to go, as long as it's a college in Nebraska. And then he got another scholarship to a different school, full ride, but I don't think he's going to take that one because he wants to go, somewhere else, a different school here in the state. But anyway, I was really excited and proud tonight. And even though they was like, can everybody please hold their applause to the end, to after everybody has walked across the stage? Y'all know how we do. And I hate to be stereotypical sometimes, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. It was like every time the Caucasian kids or the Indian kids or the Spanish kids or the African kids, not African American like us, but African kids, Sudanese, all them backgrounds. They was walking across the stage, nobody was saying nothing. It was like a little yay. Psh, when we walked across the stage, families was cutting up like this was a high school graduation or something. But it's really exciting. It's really exciting. But yeah, so I'm happy about that. But anyway, everybody please click the like button so we can get started on this review of The Act, which is a TV show on Hulu. This was season 8 today, and it was the season finale. And again, like I was saying earlier when I first started the live, we learned a lot more about the two main characters in the show, Dee Dee and her daughter, Gypsy Rose Blanchard. So, the show has started off. You seen how last time they had arrested Gypsy and they arrested her boyfriend, Nick, is it Gold? How do you say his name? Gold John. Gold John, something like that. But they had arrested them too at his mother's home because after they killed her mother, they had took off from Missouri and went to stay at his mother's house, and that's where the police and the detectives found them hiding at his mother's house. It had what actually just for those who might be tuning in who never seen the show, just to give you a very brief description of the show. The show is about a real true life story of a mother who had Munchausen by proxy syndrome, which is a syndrome where people who are caretakers for people, usually children, caretakers for children, usually parents of children, have this syndrome where they always looking for sympathy, looking for empathy, looking for compassion, something like that. And what they do to get that, they lie or they exaggerate, illnesses that the person they taking care of really don't have. And what this lady, Dee Dee Blanchard, had convinced people and doctors and friends and relatives that her daughter Gypsy had from a very young age was stuff like leukemia, asthma, muscular dystrophy, a lot of chronic illnesses, brain damage, premature birth, told people that she couldn't walk. She was confined to a wheelchair, from the time she was like maybe 5 or 6. She was confined to a wheelchair, but she could really walk. So all these things and more, like sleep apnea, it was a lot of things that she had convinced people that her daughter had. And her daughter, being that she was so young, oh yes, seizures, I forgot about seizures. She had told the doctors that her daughter was having seizures, like 6, 7 seizures a week. So her daughter was on all this medication, and she had a feeding tube, and she had a wheelchair, and I mean, her mother kept her hair bald for people to think she had cancer, leukemia, and all kind of stuff. And the girl hair would grow and everything, and the mom would just, use some clippers and shave it off every time her daughter's hair would grow to like a buzz cut. And then she would, always wrap her hair up in a scarf or something, or just go around bald. So anyway, that's just a little backstory of this. And eventually, when Gypsy got to the age where she realized she wasn't really sick at all, and her mother also lied to her about her age, and she realized she was a grown woman when her mother was still making her believe she was like 14 or 15 years old. She wanted to break free from her mother, but her mother wouldn't let her. And so she convinced her boyfriend at the time, who has like the mental capacity of a 7th grader, kind of psychotic, kind of schizo, like hears voices and all that, convince him to kill her mother. So then, hey Roxanne, hey, thanks for tuning in tonight. So now we're at where we are tonight at the finale. Again, last episode they had caught them, they had took them to jail, read them their rights, arrested them, put them in the correctional center. They're like in the local jail because it's like men and women down there. They aren't in prison yet or nothing. They're just in the local jail. And so at the beginning of this episode, it had because they was going back and forth a little bit, and they had a flashback of like the year 1997 in Houma. I think I'm pronouncing it right, Houma, Louisiana. And I guess that's where Gypsy's mother was from. And they showed a scene of Gypsy and her mother way back then when Gypsy she looked like she was approximately, like I said, about 6 years old around that time. And she was lying in bed next to her mother, and she was expressing to her, how she was afraid of ghosts. And at that time, her mother, was telling her that, she don't have to be afraid of ghosts, and that Gypsy is actually an angel sent to protect her mother, Dee Dee. That's what Dee Dee was convincing her, that she's an angel sent to protect her, the mother, and that the mother, Dee Dee, was sent to protect her daughter, as parents should do. Yes, it's on Hulu, and the finale was tonight. Hey, Miss Naturally Nolans. Hey, sweetie. Hey, Trish Rain. Yes, it's on Hulu, y'all. You can see the whole 8 episodes on Hulu. Hey, just 5, just J5. But yeah, Donna, 666. She convinced this little girl from a very young age that she had all these crazy issues and chronic sicknesses, and as she grew up, she just believed her mom. She just believed her mom, believed what she said. And so, after that, it flashed back in the current time, and it showed Gypsy and her boyfriend Nick in court for their arraignment hearing. And she actually didn't know what to plead, but she ended up, pleading not guilty. And then they said that they were trying her and Nick on first-degree murder, which is punishable by life imprisonment or death. And again, Gypsy pleaded not guilty. The reporters, they were saying, because they were working the story, and they had mentioned, how the neighbors were expressed and shocked, as they should be, about, the murder. And on top of that, the murder was a big deal, like, truly shocking, but to find out that Gypsy Rose was not really sick, like, did y'all see the expression when they saw her walking? Walking with her handcuffs on? And when they showed her walking out the house when they found her, and they was like, well, son of a bitch, Gypsy can walk? They was like, Gypsy can walk? I was like, I was cracking up because her mom, the neighbor mom, Lacey's mom, Mel, she's so straightforward, one of those neighbors that, I think you can be really, really cool with. She does straightforward, cut to the chase, and country, they in Missouri. She was like, well, son of a bitch. But, and then the detectives, they was like, they never heard of anything like this, and, stuff like this don't happen every day. People murder people all the time, but over Munchausen syndrome, that's what this case, was basically based on. And that was like the story that Gypsy's lawyer, expressed was the reason why this happened, was because of that. And so the boyfriend, Nick, he was still trying to convince her, because in the beginning, when he found out all the abuse, like mental, verbal, physical, medical, all the abuse that she was going through by her mom, he had told her, he's going to protect her and he would get rid of any problem she had and take care of anything. And so she convinced him to kill her mom. He convinced her that they was Bonnie and Clyde, do or die, ride or die. But when Gypsy found out that she was facing a death penalty, she was all panicking, all scared. You can see the fear in her face. And then he's his mental, he's up there. Yeah. We're like Bonnie and Clyde. You know what happened to Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah, we're like Bonnie and Clyde. And he's like, this dude, I don't know what it was. I don't know, was it because of all the brainwashing that Gypsy went through, and never having a boyfriend, never really hanging around people in the outside world because her mom held the strings real tight. She was scared. She was like, die? I don't want to die. He's like, but we're like Bonnie and Clyde. I was like, hell no. She was scared as hell, and he's up there like all happy and stuff. I protected you. I saved you. I'm your hero. And the thing about it was, again, he had the mindset of like a 7th grader. So his mind frame, he was not really understanding how serious the crime was. She did. She did, and he didn't though. So why he's still under the impression that he did a great thing, in a crazy sort of way. He really believed that he rescued Gypsy, and that what he did, was protecting her, and stabbing her mother to death was really a heroic thing. You say he was scared too. He just didn't really know what he got. Yeah, I think he was acting like all giddy, but kind of nervous at the same time. But he knew what he did, but he thought that he did it. He thought what he did was a good deed. He thought what he did was a good deed. Like, he really thought he came to her rescue because that's what she made him to believe. But you know how every time her lawyer would talk to her, or when somebody would talk to her, she was always like, but I love my mother, I wouldn't kill my mother, I didn't kill my mother, I wouldn't kill my mother, I love my mother, she was the only person that I had, she was my best friend, all this kind of stuff. I was like, trying to go back and forth, like, is she also having traits of what her mom has? Like, being deceptive and conniving, when it came to her acting all innocent, like she did no wrong. And it kind of seemed like she was trying to take a lot of the pressure off of her and let him go down for the murder. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he was slow. Yep, he was slow. And, excuse me. You said yes? Mm-hmm. But what was fascinating to me again was how much they showed, like, Gypsy, she really, really loved her mom. Like, she really loved her mom. But she just wanted to be free. She wanted to get away. She wanted to have boyfriends. She wanted to have sex. She wanted to go to parties. She wanted to listen to music. She wanted to have her own Facebook account. She wanted to do, stuff that normal teenagers do. And then once she found out her real age, that she was a whole grown woman, and she could walk, and she didn't have diabetes, and she found out nothing was wrong with her. Like, she could eat normal food, she could drink pop, she ain't gonna die, because of her sugar diabetes. She just wanted to be free, and I think she just wanted to be free. And I think she didn't know any other way to go about it, because remember, her mom kept telling her, like, all through the years, brainwashing her, all through the years, if anybody finds out about our secret, we're both going to go to jail. We're both going to lose everything. We're going to lose this beautiful house they built from us from the ground. We're going to lose all these funds, all this government assistance, everything basically that they was receiving, because, her mom wasn't working that entire time. And so her mom was in fear of losing everything, and her mom knew they would be going to jail. Now, as far as Gypsy, I don't know. Hey, James Cox, what's up? What's going on? As far as Gypsy, do y'all think that she would have went to jail if her mother had got caught? Even after Gypsy realized, okay, like a couple of episodes ago, when Gypsy's mother, using that brainwashing that she does so well, when she had convinced her daughter to let her be her power of attorney and be able to be over all her medical needs and decisions and all that, that was after Gypsy realized she was grown and that she could make her own decisions. But when her mother, told her, well, if we don't keep this up, we're going to lose all this stuff. If they find out, they can get in trouble and all that kind of stuff. So do y'all think that if Gypsy would have been, like, at that time told, what was going on, that she would have went to jail after she was grown? I don't know. I don't think she would have. I know for sure her mama would have probably ended up in the slammer, because they took thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of money from all kind of government agencies, and funds for all the leukemia and the asthma foundation, and all. She was getting money from everywhere. And then disability, and Medicare, all that stuff. They was getting all that. So I know her mom would have spent some time in jail. So I don't know, but Gypsy didn't think there was no other way out. And that's when she convinced her, her boyfriend, the one who really, got like a seventh, eighth grade, junior high, mind frame, convinced him that he was her prince and that he was saving her and rescuing her by killing her mother. But what do y'all think about her neighbor friends? Mel, the lady who stayed across the street, Mel, and her daughter Lacey. Like, I get how they were upset. Of course, when they found out, that Dee was killed, she was murdered, stabbed to death, and that Gypsy and her boyfriend was arrested for the crime. But when her neighbor saw, her on TV and was like, well, son of a bitch, she walks. That's when they start realizing, maybe we don't really know Gypsy. We don't know her at all. They stayed across the street from each other for like 7 years, and they felt deceived, lied to, hoodwinked. You said you can't understand the doctors. They didn't see it. They need jail time too. Thank you. I agree. Because the only lady who really started trying to do a little digging, that was the black lady doctor. And that was once, she had got older, when she was almost like, well, no, I think at that time she had just turned 18. And her mother, Dee, had took her into the hospital because, remember, when she was eating all the cupcakes and stuff at her birthday party, and her mom stabbed her in the leg with the needle, which they give to people when they actually having a sugar attack or diabetes attack. But she stabbed it in her leg so hard, they went to the emergency room. And after that, that other doctor started looking into stuff like, which doctor told you she had this? Which doctor told you she had this? She don't have sugar diabetes. Ain't nothing wrong with her. And she gave Gypsy a can of pop, remember? And right when she was about to drink that can of pop, Gypsy, she was like, because the doctor, she knew like something wasn't right. And when she made phone calls to the doctor she had seen in the past, they was like, well, her mother told us that another doctor had diagnosed her, but they didn't like even check or investigate or get paperwork. They just kept giving out these meds and giving the medicine for leukemia and for asthma and for seizures and for, this girl was on all kind, and cleaning her feeding tube when the girl was eating just like anybody else. She didn't even use the feeding tube because she didn't need to. Did you see that when the DSF worker came out the house? Yes. The girl. It was a hot mess. I mean, if I was the neighbors, I would feel a certain type of way too. Hey everybody tuning in. Hey Candace on IG. What's up, you guys? I'm on IG and YouTube, and we're discussing the finale of The Act, which is the TV show on Hulu. But how do y'all feel about the neighbors? Like, would y'all have been so upset to the point where y'all wouldn't want to be no longer bothered with Gypsy? Like how she was reaching out to them and making phone calls to them and trying to explain to them. The daughter, Lacey, hey girl, what's going on? The daughter, Lacey, she told her, I don't know about come visiting you. I gotta think about this. This is a lot for me. She stopped answering her phone calls, when she would call from jail. And then eventually, her mom came and visited Lacey's mom, Mel, the lady who stayed across the street. She eventually came to visit her and told her, what, my daughter, she can't handle it. She can't take it, because they was really, really close. And the thing that got me was how they were so upset because she killed her mother. Well, because, she had her mother killed, but they didn't seem to have absolutely any sympathy towards Gypsy after hearing of her physical, mental, verbal, medical abuse, her rights being abused. I mean, they act like they didn't have any sympathy towards her at all after hearing about all that. So I thought that was kind of cold. I mean, I don't know. That's just what I think. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. But the mom that stayed across the street, Mel, she came and visited her, at the jail. And she basically told her, because Gypsy was like, all this happened and I didn't know any way out. I didn't know how to tell anybody. I was scared. My mom was going to get in trouble. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And she asked Mel, she said, I always looked up to you and I always wanted to be like you and your daughter and have that kind of relationship that me and my mom had. And could you be like a mom to me? Mel was real cold. She was like, I'm sorry. I can't help you. You on your own. You on your own. She's like, do you understand? You are on your own here. Why didn't you just get up and walk away? Like they had no sympathy for her. This child was brainwashed from the age of okay, remember when she had got hurt on the what's the bouncy thing called? The thing in the backyard. Trampoline. Trampoline. I'm like, the thing in the backyard. But when she had got on the trampoline, after her mother D kept telling her, do not get on that trampoline because you might injure yourself, she snuck out there anyway, got on the trampoline. She ended up bouncing off the trampoline and fell, in the grass. And her mom, she started panicking, picked her up, took her to the emergency room. And then at the emergency room, there were some wheelchairs, and she asked her daughter, be in the wheelchair, because she didn't want her to walk. That was like when it all started. From that moment on, her mother got her a wheelchair, and she made her stay in that wheelchair whenever it basically throughout the day. From the time she woke up, got dressed, brushed her hair, washed her face, she had to be confined to that wheelchair. And the only time she could be out of the wheelchair was at night. And she would only get out the wheelchair after her mom fell asleep. Her mom would fall asleep. Mind you, they still was sleeping in the same bed like they was since she was like 4, 5, basically since she was a baby. They still shared a bed. Even her mom was like, Gypsy by then was 18. She was grown. And her mom still made her sleep in the bed with her. You said, what show is this, Candace? Oh, this is, it's on Hulu, and it's The Act. T-H-E, Act, A-C-T, The Act. And it's based off a real life story about this mother who had severe case of Munchausen by proxy syndrome. Yeah, you seen it on YouTube? Yep. It's crazy, and it's a real story. It's based off a real story. But I still thought I just thought the neighbors, being they had a 7-year relationship with them and the daughter was real close with Gypsy, I just thought they would have been more compassionate, to them. But nope, it's not on Netflix, it's on Hulu. But yeah, I thought she would. You said, did you see how Dee Dee treated her mom when her mother got sick? Yep, I sure did. And it's kind of funny because when Gypsy's mother, when she had got sick, she really got the diabetes and the stuff like that. The stuff she kept telling Gypsy that she had, she really ended up getting it, and she needed Gypsy to take care of her. And that was another reason why Gypsy wanted to leave, because she felt trapped. Like, okay, I'm 18 now, I can really leave if I want to, but now my mom is sick. Now she got diabetes and other things. Her feet was always swollen. She was always sick and in bed and, at the doctor. And she realized she'd probably never be free. You said there's a movie on Netflix, Adopted, something about Gypsy. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm going to have to check that out. I don't know if it's the same story, but I'm going to check that out, Candace. Your cousins had you watch it? I really, truly enjoyed it because I had heard about the story years ago. When it happened like 4, 5 years ago. But I really didn't look into it. I just heard about it. but I didn't know too much about it. And so when it came on, Hulu, I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching that. I'm watching that. I'm gonna do reviews on it. But her mother, she was so brainwashed by her mother. And again, she had told her, don't tell anybody. We might go to jail. We might get in trouble, and all that kind of stuff. And when she became grown and realized she didn't have any sicknesses or illnesses, she still realized that if she left, her mother would not. Can you imagine? If she left, her mother would not have still been able to collect all those funds and all that money and all those grants and all those, from all those different agencies. So, I mean, I hate that she killed her mom. I think she could have, found another way, found some kind of help, some kind of way to get this, but she didn't want her mother to get in trouble. That was the bottom line. She did not want her mother to get in trouble. But yep, yeah, I did. I read up on the documentary, Just Jay. Yep. And matter of fact, I'm gonna give y'all some information after I'm done with this review. I'm gonna give y'all some information. You said, and then the parents had affairs with him. What? Hold on. What you talking about? I can't believe the parents trusted old boy. Oh. You said, girl, then she had them send them to the. Hold on. I don't know what show you talking about, but that sounds good. You said, and then the parents had affairs with him. Oh, you talking about that show? Oh, I did a review on that, girl. I did a review on that show like 4 or 5 months ago. Abducted in plain sight. That's the one you talking about. Yes, you said I abducted and I didn't catch it, but now I know what you're talking about. Abducted in plain sight. Yeah, but that's a totally different show. But yeah, I watched that and I did a review on that. Check it out on my reviews. Yeah, it's about 4 or 5 months ago. That was a good Netflix series. If y'all ain't checked that one out, Abducted in Plain Sight, I think it still might be on Netflix because Candace says she watched it. So and I did a review on it too afterwards. But excuse me. And then like as far as her lawyers, they kept trying to convince Gypsy to, I don't know if they wanted her to, because Gypsy never said if her boyfriend did it. She wouldn't say, but she kept saying that she didn't do it. She loved her mom. She would never do that to her mom. So her lawyer was like, okay, well, this is what we need to do. Your mother was your primary caregiver, even after she got grown, because she has signed the papers for her to be her POA and all that. So, since her mother was dead, they couldn't just ask for her medical records because it was still under her mother, you know what I mean? And so, what they basically had to do was to find another close relative. She ended up reaching to her estranged father. That was really an emotional scene. Like, when he came in and he was like really nervous, didn't know what to say to her, asked her did she remember him. She was like, yeah, I remember you. But she wasn't as welcoming, as he was welcoming him, as he was happy to see her. And so when they sat down and she started asking him questions like, where were you? Why you leave? Accusing him of never loving her, not being there. He started to break it down to her. And this where we really got more information on Gypsy's past. Because all this time while she was growing up, she thought that her father had just bounced and just left because that's what her mom, her mom made her think that her dad was like a deadbeat and just left. All the events that he attended, all the things that he came to, her parties, her birthdays, taking her fishing, all kind of stuff, teaching her how to play music, teaching her how to sing, all these things that he did with her before her mother took her away. She didn't remember any of that because she had been so severely brainwashed from a young age, from like the age of 5 or 6. But you saw how he was estranged, because at first I was wondering, like, where her dad go? Why he just leave? But you saw how the same way she was always like not giving Gypsy a chance to speak for herself. Every time somebody asked Gypsy something, she would speak for her. When they went to the doctor, she would speak for her. She would never let Gypsy speak. When people would ask her about her symptoms or how she feel or, you know, things like that, about her background or where they grew up or anything like that. And it was a kind of the same way with him and her. He was 17 when they got married. When she got pregnant, Gypsy's mom, who was much older than him, by the way, he was still like a kid. She was like a grown woman. I think, and y'all let me know if I'm reaching, if y'all feel the same way. But you said, yep, Dee Dee kept her dad away from her. Sure did. Yep, kept her dad away from her. And remember, she kept bouncing house to house to house, moving city to city to city. The reason why, because I think every time somebody kind of like caught whim, like maybe something was fishy, that's when they would move. Like when they moved into that house that was built from the ground for them, it was kind of the same story. She was like, you know, if people find out, we're going to have to move again. Remember, she kept telling her that if people find out, we're going to have to move again. And she really liked that house and they didn't want to leave, you know. So that's why they kept moving. Every time the father would try to come around, Gypsy's mom would tell him, you know, she's sick or she can't be bothered or she's not up to it or she can't handle it. You know, giving all these excuses, you know, why he can't see her. And then they started moving around and he lost track of them. But he told her, you know, I was sending checks every single month. I was sending checks every single month, you know, to your mom. And she wouldn't still let me see. Now, I get where Gypsy was coming from. Like, you should have tried harder. But remember, he was a kid. But then again, he grew up. So, hey, I'm somebody who didn't grow up with my dad. So, I'm like, hey, okay, I get it. You was a kid. You was a teenager. You know, she was much older than you. She was very controlling. Gypsy's mother was, like, very controlling in their relationship and didn't let him make decisions. And I think another reason, Jay, was why she kind of kept him out of her life. You know, how Gypsy's mom kept him out of life. I think it had to do with something like he would probably eventually find out that his daughter really wasn't sick. Like, when they separated, if she was to be over his house, and Gypsy was to get up in the middle of the night and start walking, and he caught her. You know what I mean? I think that's another reason why she, you know, kept moving to avoid, you know, her husband, Gypsy's father. But now it all made sense. And he started showing her records. When he put that big old stack of med recs in front of Gypsy, because he did go down and get the med recs for the lawyer. And, I mean, it was like a rap sheet from here to there. And it was all these things in there about, you know, her lying and all these things that Gypsy's mom did. Like lying about her not being able to walk. Lying about her being diabetic, leukemia. It was in there that she had said to another doctor that her old doctor had treated her for leukemia when she was only 3 years old, and he was trying to tell Gypsy that never happened. Your mother basically lied and manipulated you all these years. But she's so brainwashed, I think that's why she couldn't accept her father telling her he loved her. He's always loved her. He always tried to find them. He used to send money. I mean, he'd start dropping all these photos of them that spent time together, you know, when she was young. And she just couldn't accept it. She couldn't accept that he really did love her because he never came back to get her. So, I get it. I get it. But at least he was there for her. He brought the med recs. He, you know, he I think he really, really did love her. Like, even though he was estranged from her life, he didn't come up in there and was like, here you go, here the med recs, so you killed your mama, huh? You off your mama, huh? She probably deserved it. You know, he wasn't on that rah, rah, rah. He could have been. But, you know, he could have been holding a lot of animosity, you know, anger for her mom. But, you know, he seemed really genuinely concerned about, you know, Gypsy and the trial and everything. So I thought that was really cool. You said Era saying, guess that's why her name is Gypsy, because they move so much. Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. I think her mom did say early on the season why she named her Gypsy, but I cannot remember if it was because of something like that, because they moved a lot, or yeah. But Just Jay on YouTube says she believed that he loved her too. I do too. I do too. But that's what years of brainwashing will do to you. Like, that's serious. But at least he had a chance to explain to her, and I hope that wasn't their only meeting. I mean, they didn't show him anymore in her. They didn't show like any other meetings between the two of them, in this finale. But I'm hoping that he was there for the trial, for the sentencing, and that he's probably still in her life, and at least visiting her on the phone calls, letters, something like that. Because she don't have any parents anymore. She has nobody. She has no family. She has no friends. Her boyfriend, ain't no telling what mind frame he in now. If he had a seventh grade capacity then, and this happened in 2015, so he's been locked up for going on 4 or 5 years now. So ain't no telling. Yep, and yep, you said, but I can't believe the doctors never. And that's what they was just saying on YouTube, Candace. And the way the show went, it always seemed like she was going to different hospitals, different doctors, and as a matter of fact, at one time, y'all remember when she said one time something had happened? Something, I think she said something caught on fire or flooded. The doctor records got lost. She said some kind of story. I can't remember the exact story, but she was good. She was conniving. She was convincing. She was, she was really good, manipulative. And she would tell doctors, this last doctor, she's been on this medicine. She need a new asthma machine because she been doing just basically lying to get what she needs. She was a good liar. She was a habitual liar. But and then let's see, what do I want to talk about next? Oh, when they went to court the next time, they had actually decided that Gypsy and her boyfriend would not be tried together, because they was trying to make that decision if they should be tried together. But they decided, since Gypsy's situation, her mother had Munchausen by proxy syndrome, she was abused. So she was led to this act, the name of the show, The Act, by by a case of the Munchausen. And him, on the other hand, he just, he ain't all there. So I didn't think it would be fair for them to try them two together either. And I don't know nothing about, nothing about that. As far as court is concerned, like I said, I took up, I went to school for, not a lawyer, nothing like that, business. I took business law classes, aced them all, but that was business law. So I don't know nothing about criminal law. But I would just think that it wouldn't be right to try them both together. So they agreed. They charged them both with first degree murder. But when it came down to it, they ended up charging her with second degree and charging him with first degree. But one thing that they finally had showed, like, the act, like how it happened. I didn't think they were ever going to show how it happened, but they did. They did another flashback, and they showed her texting him saying, make sure you wear gloves when you come to the house. Text me when you're outside. So after her mom had went to sleep, well, actually, before her, this was real creepy, y'all. This was creepy to me. But before her mom went to sleep, because they still sleeping in the same bed, Gypsy Rose has her own room, her own beautiful, big, spacious room with all her stuff in it and everything. And her mom continually made her sleep in her bed, which I thought was really weird. Really weird. But, they had a flashback and they show him coming to the house. Um, Gypsy's mother, she was like nodding off, going to sleep. And she, as we probably do every night, hey, if y'all like me and y'all really love y'all kids, y'all tell them every night and several times throughout the day that you love them. But of course, at night. And so she was telling her daughter, I love you, Gypsy Rose, and, feeling touching her face and, just being really gentle with her. And then she said, please don't hurt me. Now, that was really creepy because I'm thinking maybe, okay, remember the last time when she jumped on Gypsy Rose? When she found out about the boy and found out she was on the internet looking up all those websites and stuff about sex and everything, and found out, she had a phone. I mean, she would jump on her every time Gypsy Rose acted like she wasn't appreciative of her. She would strangle her. She would tie her up to the bed so she couldn't get free and do anything. All kind of stuff. I'm thinking maybe she was, in her mind, she was probably thinking either Gypsy Rose might do something to her eventually, or Gypsy Rose might eventually leave and break camp and bounce up out of that crazy house and, be free. Yeah, she didn't feel good that night. I think she had probably took some of her medicine, but she was just kind of like laying there like, I love you, Gypsy Rose. I love you, Gypsy Rose. Please don't hurt me, Gypsy Rose. And then she just like dozed off. And next thing you know, he was texting, I'm outside. I was like, yes, you need to watch the Hulu version, Candace. You need to watch the Hulu version. It's good. It's 8 episodes on there. And and since the season is over, shoot, you can watch it back to back. But before we had to wait each week for the next episode to come on. But yeah, he came in the house. She gave him the knife that she had bought at the fishing store or wherever that was at the mall. She bought that knife. And she went in the bathroom. I mean, she went in her she went in the bathroom and stayed in the bathroom, and he went in there, stabbed her mom to death. She was freaking out, screaming. I mean, she was like losing her mind because her mom, the screams were horrible. Man, she's probably still, like when she was walking down the hallway at the jail, and you saw how she fell. She kind of collapsed. She would have probably fell if the guard wasn't, holding her close. But she had a flashback, and y'all saw that picture of that lighthouse that, flashed before her eyes. I was like, what is that? But then when they showed the flashback of the actual scene, the murder, when she was in the bathroom, holding her ears because trying to block out her mom's screams while her boyfriend was killing her, right above the tub was a picture of that same lighthouse that she had saw in her mind when she was walking, down the hall in handcuffs, and she freaked out and she fell out on the ground. I was like, okay, that's where I'm like, what the hell the lighthouse got to do with this, but. And then after that, he killed her. He stabbed her. They got cleaned up. For the first time ever, Gypsy actually looked the way that she was supposed to look. When she got dressed, she put on a mini skirt. She put on her makeup, and not the makeup, how he liked it when they was doing the sexual scenes, on the computer, when he had her dressing all scandalous and stuff with the big color wigs and all the heavy makeup. She looked cute, beautiful, like a young lady. She had on a nice, cute jacket. I mean, y'all saw what her mother was having her wearing, looking like somebody on Little House on the Prairie and stuff half the time. I was like, looking like Laura Ingalls. Y'all remember Laura? See, some of y'all too old. Candace, you remember Laura Ingalls? I'm like making her wear them big old poofy dresses and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, child, please. But she looks really beautiful. When she left out of there and they grabbed her suitcases, got in the cab, and got the heck out of Dodge Street and went to his house. And then that's when, then later of course they got arrested and came back. But one thing that's one thing that kind of struck me as crazy was when you said you still watch Little House on the Prairie. I was thinking about that show the other day, I swear to God, because I don't know, sometimes Gypsy Rose just reminds me of Laura Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie. And I was wondering, like, dang, is there any place I can watch that? Is it on Netflix? Oh, Nelly with all the curls. Yeah, I remember her. Um, but I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that show. I haven't watched that show in a long time. But what struck me as crazy was, y'all, when Gypsy was in the bathroom, like after her boyfriend Nick came back in the bathroom, and he had the knife in his hand, and he was up there like, because the guy is crazy. He was up there like, oh, I did it. You're free now. You're free. We can go. At first Gypsy was like looking like terrified, like scared, because she know that the silence of her mom screaming, it's done. The deed is done. There's no going back. And she looked like she was having regrets. And then, like, just that quickly, she was happy, like kissing him and wrapping her arms around him. You saved me. You saved me. I'm like, is this girl bipolar? I mean, it was really weird. And then again, she was convincing him, you saved me. You're my prince. You're my hero. Making him again. Like, do y'all think she was setting him up? Like, the same way her mom was, brainwashing her, manipulating her. Do y'all think she was manipulating him just to get her out of that situation? I don't know. I got that from the bathroom scene. And then, oh, yeah, Just Jay. Girl, talking about the set. No. That was still at the house. That was still at the house. You saw she was on her bed. That because her bed, remember he moved all her teddy bears and stuff out the way, and they were still at the house. They had went to her room where she was, where her suitcases and stuff was, and he tried to do the deed. He tried to do what he wanted to do with her, but for some reason he was having a little trouble and probably needed a little blue pill at the time. But anyway, he kept trying. And I'm trying not to be too graphic. He kept trying, and finally it rose up. And they did it. But it was more like him. Did you see the way he slung her? Like, whoop, threw her around. She was like, laying there like, what is this? What is this? What am I supposed to call this? What was this? She was looking like, is this what because, okay, Just Jay, wasn't I talking to you last week about when the, cops asked, have you been having sex with him? And Gypsy said, no. But remember the bathroom scene at the movie theater? I was like, maybe that's why she said no, because he just wasn't having a good night that night. But I don't know, maybe that's why she said no, because I sure thought that they was doing something. But then once I look back, I'm like, he was acting the same way she was. I mean, he was then, and she was acting the same way. She was just like, okay, is that it? But yeah, so anyway, she ended up a year into her incarceration, a year after she got arrested. She pleaded guilty. She finally pleaded guilty, 2nd-degree murder. She got a 10-year sentence that she's serving. And they had said, how they say at the end, they got charged with this. They gonna be in jail to this time, stuff like that. They was like, Gypsy plans on, when she gets released, like starting a family on her own. Okay. And then Nick, like is that the first thing you think of when you getting out of jail? I done got my mama killed. I'm in jail for 10 years. When I get out, I'm going to have me a baby. I'm going to find me a man. And I'm going to have my own family. Okay. But anywho, whatever works. Nick, her boyfriend, He was charged with first degree murder and he got life without the possibility of parole. But I'm like, how? I understand he killed her, but his mindset, and they had doctors' notes and stuff, how the boy heard voices, he was schizo, he was psychotic, he had a 7th grade mindset. I couldn't believe they gave him life without the possibility of parole. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, but I guess. I think they went too hard on that child, that boy. I think they went too hard on him. He didn't even he was manipulated. He was conned. She got it from her mama. She got it from her mama. She got it outright from her mama. You said you called her a hot ass? Oh, God. Ooh. But y'all, check this out. This is what I was going to tell y'all. Just recently, I told you I had some update information, after I finished the live. Just recently, as of, what's today? Today is the 1st, right? A petition to free Gypsy Rose Blanchard from prison has reached its goal. She got sentenced, like in 2016. And she's supposed to do 10 years, so she's really not supposed to get out to 2026. Unless maybe there's like some possibility of some good time or, something like that. But, it has reached, the petition to get her out of prison has reached its goal and will now be given to the governor of Missouri for consideration. The petition was created by Gypsy Rose's father, Rod Blanchard. Remember, he re-entered her life in prison when he brought the hospital records so that the lawyer could convince them to not give her the death penalty and not give her life because of the abuse she has, went through all her life. So the petition was first created in 2017, a year after she was in there. But they said that there has been a recent surge in signatures after the show started to appear on Hulu. So we never know. I'm going to keep my eye on this story and see if she'll eventually get released. But so far they got 150,000 signatures, which means it can now be turned over to the governor to consider whether Gypsy should be released from prison before she's up for parole. Yep, parole is 2024. She's supposed to be in there to 2026, but she can get parole in 2024. Yep, you said I did too because he could have got the same amount of years. Right. The same amount of years just because of his mental capacity. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have a good lawyer. I don't know. But okay, so yeah, so we'll find out sometime soon if the, governor is going to release her. But she's now 27 years old. Again, she killed her mother. Well, not killed, but she convinced her boyfriend, Nick, to kill her mother in 2015. She was abused her mentally, physically, medically, most of her life from the time of 4 or 5, around that age. And we shall see. I kind of hope she gets out early. Just because of everything that she went through and how her childhood and everything was taken from her and she wasn't allowed to do anything, go anywhere, have any friends, have any boyfriends, have no normal real life. And it's 18 seconds left, 15 seconds left on IG, but I'm basically done with this review. If y'all want to come over to my YouTube channel, feel free, but I'm basically about done with my review. So see you guys later. 3, 2, 1. Good night. Okay. So, but yes, as I was saying, now it's up to the governor, Mike Parson of Missouri, to decide what, if anything, to do with the petition, if he's going to release her, if he's not going to release her. Um, and she's also called for her supporters to write personal letters to the governor to encourage her early release. So, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all think she deserves to get out early? Do y'all think she should get out early? What do y'all think? Because on one hand, I feel sorry for her. I really feel sorry for her for everything she did. But then on the other hand, it's like, I think she knew what she was doing when she convinced the man, because she knew that if she let anybody know their secret about her not being sick, being able to walk, her mom could get in trouble. But by convincing Nick to kill her mom and stab her to death, it was like she's kind of saving herself and saving her mom in a crazy sort of way from getting in trouble with the law. And she kind of convinced Nick that he was rescuing her. And the reason why I say I feel sorry, but I agree she should have done time sometime, is because of the fact I think she knew what she was doing when she had Nick. I really think that she probably thought Nick wouldn't get that much time because of his mind frame. I think she really thought that he might get a slap on the wrist, And then on top of that, every time they ask her, did you kill your mom? Did you help? Did you do? Nope, I didn't do anything. I didn't help. I didn't assist. I didn't know anything about nothing. I didn't kill my mom. I love my mom. I always loved my mom. She was great. She was my best friend. She never did anything to defend her boyfriend. Never said anything to defend her boyfriend. He was kind of just on his own. On his own. So, I don't know. I feel sorry for him too, Jay. Hey, Aisha, how you doing? But yeah, I feel sorry for him too. Hey, Candace, you done came over for IG. That's my girl. We go back like 4 flats on a Cadillac. That's my girl. That's my home girl right there. Do y'all still say home girl? I still use that phrase sometimes. That's my home girl. But yeah, so we shall see if the governor is going to let her out. I don't know. She only served what? She been in jail since 2015. She was sentenced to 10 years in 2016. So it's 2019. And so it's been like 4 years since she been locked up. Do y'all think that's enough time? In 2024, in 3 more years, she's up for parole. Roxanne, you say, yeah, but her mom did sentence her to life her whole childhood. The guy should be released due to... Exactly. I totally agree with you, Roxanne. I totally agree. You hit it right on the head. Her mom did basically give her a life sentence of abuse, neglect, and the only way I say neglect, because her mom loved her dearly to pieces, but her mom had a mental problem, that Munchausen proxy by syndrome. That's a real sickness, like a real illness. And so when I say neglect, I mean she put her daughter through all this abuse. She neglected her own her best care, her what was right for her, her own safety, her what I mean, like her best interest. She didn't. Her mind wouldn't let her put her daughter's best interest, ahead of hers. So yeah, she did sentence her to a life, basically, imprisonment, confined to a chair, a wheelchair, that is. But yeah, I agree with you, Roxanne. I totally agree with you. But you guys, I really, really enjoyed this show, and from the looks of it, y'all seem like y'all really enjoyed it too. I love me some Hulu. I'm telling y'all, it's so many good shows. I like Netflix too. Okay. I like Netflix. I like Hulu. I like YouTube much better than I like cable. Me and Candace was talking last week, and I was telling Candace how I'm trying to decide if I want to keep my cable. Because I swear, I mean, I watch my shows for like my reviews, like my reality shows and like Empire, Power, those kind of shows. But besides the news, I really don't watch too much. The only reason I think I still got my cable is because my sons, we had like the basketball network, we got like the football network, we had a Big Ten network, we got all these, sports packages and stuff like that. So if it wasn't because of them, and mind you, I like sports too. I love me some football, I love me some basketball. But I think if it wasn't for my son so into sports, like my youngest son, he just got a full ride scholarship. He's going to school for sports broadcasting, sports journalism. That's how they love sports. So I think I would have done away with that cable. Because I really don't watch it. But yeah, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed the series on Hulu, The Act. Have y'all do y'all watch what's that show on Hulu? Hold on, let me pull up Hulu right now on my computer. I watched that show. It's called Kiri. 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 That is a good show, y'all. It's only 3 episodes. If y'all have not watched Kiri yet, it's about this little black girl. And it's one thing I like the most about Hulu and Netflix is they have these TV shows, these series that are based out of like England and London and over there, and most of them are crime shows, and I don't know, they're just so interesting. To see different people of different, cultures and stuff, how they move, they detectives and, crimes and how they solve crimes. It's very interesting. Thank you, Roxanne. Thank you. I don't know if you was online when you heard me say the reason why I didn't watch Empire tonight and Star was because we was at his honor ceremony. Not just his, but for all the students at his high school who got scholarships and lettered in something. We was there tonight. From like 6:30 to like 8, something like that. So I didn't get to watch them, and I ended up watching. Well, I can't think of The Act. Matter of fact, I just realized I still got the title on here. Oh, y'all didn't even tell me. I still got the title on the live from the live I did last night about Ashanti. Oh my God, let me change that. Oh my God. Hold up. I can't believe I still have the same title on there. I thought I changed it. I know what I did. When I was posting the link on my social media sites like Facebook and Twitter and stuff, I had put the title there. Oh yeah, okay, I see what it is. I didn't refresh. That's what it was. I didn't refresh. Okay, so if I refresh it on this screen, it's okay. Never mind. I thought the title of this video still showed the Ashanti video that I did last night about her father allegedly molesting a little girl and impregnating her 3 times before she turned 15. Y'all better watch that review, y'all, because it was good. Now, there's 3 videos that I did, and let me explain them, because you don't have to watch all 3 videos. So let me explain. The first video I did lasted like 16 minutes. If y'all was live with me last night, y'all saw I was having technical difficulties. The computer was tripping. And so I had to end the live, or it ended by itself, or something kicked me out. Then I did another live, and that live was like 1 hour and 40 minutes. Now, I have certain Facebook groups that I'm in where you can post like little snippets of videos that you want people to watch to get watch time and stuff like that. So what I did was, from the finished video, the hour and 40 minute video, I watched the video and I cut out like 15 minutes of it, like a really good part of the video, kind of like a preview before I got really deep into the review. And I had to post it on YouTube in order for me to share the link into my Facebook groups, you know what I mean? So you guys, if you have not watched the Ashanti review about her father that I did, Just look at part two. Just look at part two. Just look at part two because that's like basically the whole entire video. One of them I titled review because I just put a little snippet in some of these groups that I'm in, and I was like, this is a review. To see the whole video, check out part two on my YouTube channel. So I don't want y'all going through all them videos and like, oh, the same stuff is in this one, you know. Okay, so yeah, just check out part two. Just check out part two. But I did it last night. If y'all ain't heard about it yet, Ashanti's father allegedly started messing around with a little girl before Ashanti was born. When this little girl was 9 years old, got her pregnant allegedly 3 times before she turned 15. A lot of people that I've talked to on and off YouTube believes this woman. I mean, she had so many receipts. Like I said, TK did the interview. And we all know about TK. Some people love her, some people don't. If I compared it to the Star Marie interview, I would say this interview was 100 times better. Star Marie was not believable at all. This lady, she really seemed believable. Like, really, she got receipts on top of receipts, locations, details. I mean, details, like all kind of details and receipts. And this child was failed by many adults in her life. But again, check out part two. I did it last night around, I think we finished around 12:30. We was up late to like 12:30 a.m. in the morning. So please check that out. Please check that video out. You guys, I am trying to get my my watch hours up because I have about another month before I can get reviewed to get monetized. You guys, that's like the next step. I uploaded a video before, my appreciation video, when I hit 1K, which is like the first step to getting monetized. You got to have 1,000 subscribers, and then after that, you got to have at least 4,000 watch hours total. By everybody who watches you, it got to equal 4,000 watch hours. So you guys, whenever you have free time, whenever you're bored, not saying that I'm like your last resort when you're bored and have nothing to do, because I think I'm actually entertaining most of the time. But I'm just saying, whenever y'all can, I would really appreciate it if you guys could click on my playlist. I have all my shows, all my reviews, all under playlists. You can click on Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, Married to Medicine, Empire, Power, Star. I mean, I can go on and on and on. I do a lot of reviews on a lot of things. So all you have to do is click on playlists on my main channel, and it'll take you to all these playlists, and just click play, and it'll just continually run that whole playlist till the last video is done. So I would really appreciate that if you guys could, because oh my God, it's almost a year, and I'm like, oh, I'm getting that itchy feeling like, oh my God, I'm so close to being monetized. And I really, 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 really appreciate you guys. And I keep saying, like, on my videos, nobody's really done it yet, but I keep saying on my videos, if anybody else is close to being monetized and you need somebody to do your watch hours, comment in the comment section. You know, after I'm done with the video, comment in the comment section. You can comment on any video. Hey, Tanya, could you please visit my channel? Need watch hours? Just say something, you know, something like that. And I'll go over and just let your stuff play. I'm at home a lot during the day because I work from home during the daytime, you know, processing claims and stuff. During the day, after I watch my couple hours of news, I'm on YouTube and I'm watching people. That's my entertainment. If I'm not on Hulu or Netflix, I'm on YouTube. After I get my news updates and weather and stuff out the way in the morning, I'm on YouTube. So and I be just going person to person videos, and I don't really comment and all that kind of stuff because I'm actually working. I'm actually working, and I have a quota, so I have to do so many claims per hour to keep my job. So trust and believe, I do be working while I got a laptop over here. I'm working over here on my 3 computers for work, and I'm working. But I got my YouTube over here, and my Hulu and Netflix, So yeah, thank you, Just Jay. Thank you, Roxanne. I appreciate it, and thank you so much, Roxanne. I really appreciate all you guys. Like, honestly, truly, I really, really do. I really, really do. And I thank you guys for checking me out tonight. And again, you guys, I talked to Sam. Y'all know Sam was out of town. My sister from another mister, my homegirl. We have the Hood Table. Again, the Hood Table is DAHOODTABE. 3 words. The Hood Table. It's our other YouTube channel. It's a collaboration channel. Me and her, we collaborate. We do reviews. We talk about, stuff that involves life and things that people can relate to. This weekend we're going on. What's today? Wednesday. Well, it's now like about to be Sunday. It's about to be Thursday. But this Friday evening, me and Samantha will be on the Hood Table channel. So make sure you guys, if you're not already subscribed on the Hood Table, make sure you subscribe to that channel. I'm going to put the link in here like I normally do. The Hood Table. So you guys can click on the link. It takes you right to the Hood Table. Hit the notification bell. Make sure you get the notifications and everything, because we'll be over there Friday and we're going to be on a good discussion. It relates to men and women. So you guys want to make sure you're over there Friday. Probably be approximately between 8 and 9 p.m. Probably between like 8 and 9 p.m. But Friday during the day, I will put up the live notification so you guys will get the alert of the time we are going to go live. So I'll make sure I do that for you so you'll know exactly when we're going to be live. So let me go ahead and put that in here while there's still some people watching. Go ahead and put that in the chat. Oh, you said, oh yeah, Roxanne. Yeah, I saw that comment. You said you believe her. Yeah, a lot of people believe her. A lot of people. Okay, there's the other channel. That's the link to the Hood Table. So check that out. Subscribe, hit the bell. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. And as usual, Primetime Squad, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces. Oh, hold up. You said you got to catch you all on the Hood Table. Yes, you got to catch us on the Hood Table. And we do got some videos over there already. So if you want, you can go over there and check us out. We did one video on the movie Us. We did a review on that. And then we did a video on, what was that video called? It was something about, I can't remember the exact name of the video, but it's something about to what extent should you go when you're supporting family and friends, like how far should you go when it comes to supporting family and friends. That was a good video. Then I did an Easter video. So yeah, we got some videos over there already, so you can check them out if you want. But yes, make sure you guys tune in to us Friday on the Hood Table channel, and I just put the link in. And good night, Roxanne. Good night, everybody, whoever's in here. It looks like some people have already left out. That's okay, because I know y'all know I'm wrapping up. But who's ever still watching, everybody who commented in the chat, everybody who was watching and commenting on IG, thank you. And as usual, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'm out. Deuces.